My name is Taz Rufus Walker. I am co-manager of Tierra Negra Farm, and Tierra Negra Farm kind of sits in under kind of a larger umbrella of Earthseed Land Collective, which is the owners of the property, which I am one of the owners and the co kind of manager of the farm. But just to give you some context of kind of the structure of the land here, we sit on 48 acres, and we've been here for about 6 years. And the kind of idea for this kind of collective ownership came out of a number of businesses that needed kind of land as a resource to kind of scale up their production, and we kind of went in on together, not blood family, but basically family at this point, of this type of investment. And yeah, and the farm probably was founded in about 2000. What year is it? I would say probably around like 2012, 13, and um, yeah, and so we've always done like a kind of a started off with like more of a CSA, and now the model we do is called Farm Share, and it's similar to a CSA model, but it kind of incorporates the members, some of their labor, so that they can get out on the farm and be able to kind of get their hands in the dirt and bring their families and their kids. And so part of it is kind of thinking of more of a kind of a food sovereignty model, or like how that community members can be more engaged in the kind of food production. And then we also sell to some smaller markets, Durham, and a group called Communities and Partnerships, that's in East Durham, and kind of supports food going to kind of limited resource families in East Durham. And then we also work with a few other local farmers to kind of support selling food to kind of build out some of their production. And so that's basically what we do. We grow vegetables. We do some value added products that involve herbs, that are like teas and salves, and tinctures and things like that, that we also make. And we're kind of looking to expand more of our some of our value added kind of products with our vegetables. And we're doing more kind of shelf stable crops like winter squash and potatoes. We're growing ginger and turmeric this year, and things that'll last a little bit longer on the shelf, so that we can kind of integrate them into our kind of CSA model a little bit easier, and not have to be so stressed around just like the level of production that we have from season to season.
Wow, it sounds like you guys are doing some amazing work and staying super active in the community. We love to hear that. Now, we know that you're obviously a recipient of our Ag Economic Grant Development Award. We'd love to hear a little bit about how those monies have been in aiding you in your operation here.
Yeah. So currently we are working on a greenhouse, and we've been able to we've received resources for a pack and warshed. So the pack and warshed is really helping us be able to store more of our vegetables, so that like we're not having to harvest like the week of and figure out where it goes. We have a little bit more of a runway, so to speak, of being able to store it in refrigeration, and then be able to move it to kind of our customer base. So that's been one thing that's helpful. The greenhouse is really looking at we end up buying a lot of our bedding plants and our transplants from a greenhouse in Virginia, and sometimes we order them from another greenhouse in Western North Carolina. And I mean, love supporting those businesses. Sometimes we're not able to find the varieties that we really want to grow, and so or it cost it's just not cost effective for us to kind of outsource that greenhouse work to someone else. So being able to have our own greenhouse means that we can really look at like the niche plants, kind of heirloom, open pollinated plants that we want to grow, and kind of stay in our, we're always wanting to do something like that, grow something that not everybody else is growing, just to kind of have a little bit of a niche. So if we're growing for example, like, everybody grows crookneck or straight neck squash at the same time, we kind of want to do patty pan or some other kind of more unique squashes. And so to do that, we need to kind of control the plants that we're growing out. So having the greenhouse is going to kind of help us kind of, be able to really grow those kind of niche products that that make us unique.
That's amazing. It sounds like you guys are starting some really unique projects around here. Would you mind sharing with us your overall experience and how you feel about the grant program as a whole?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think that honestly, every county in the state should have a program like this to support farmers. It's it's invaluable, and it's really like investing in like long term kind of the viability of farms in that county. Um, yeah, it's just important. It's like if we want to see thriving farmers in Durham County and around the state, then we're going to need more programs like this that are going to kind of help leverage, farmers, and especially when farmers aren't nonprofits. They're for profits, and there's not as many resources through nonprofit foundations for grants for like for-profit businesses. So that's another kind of crucial niche that the ag development program is doing, is really helping kind of really, I mean, it's partly building infrastructure, and I think there's some kind of like supporting research and development, putting some dollars to it, so that's like you can expand this. There's this area you're kind of wanting to go in and expand it, and it gives you some dollars to really kind of test it out and not have to take too much of a hit in your personal finances when you're kind of yeah, it's a helpful resource, and I'd like to see it grow in this county, because that also means that it's attractive for farmers to want to move to this county because there's a resource that will support them. So it's kind of kind of it's a dual purpose kind of resource.
Thank you so much for sharing. And for those who are trying to get involved with you guys for the first time, they can find you on Facebook and Instagram.